That scent on the air. The mask bearer approaches.
Good. Now we're just waiting for him. My friend, you're just in time. I'd rather not face my old companion without someone I trust nearby. Abner Tharn. According to his letter, you and he work together. He thinks very highly of you. I'd ask how you accomplished such a feat, but there isn't time. The old snake says we have important business to discuss, and he's bringing a friend. He didn't elaborate on either topic. Just mentioned a threat to Southern elsewhere. Between Tharn's cryptic letter and Nathalar's strange mood, I'm feeling out of sorts. Talk to Nathalar. Find out what troubles him while I prepare for Tharn. I appreciate you dealing with Nathalar. The dragon senses my unease over Tharn's letter, which only makes his own anxiety more pronounced. Meanwhile, I need to keep myself from thrashing the old battle mage the moment I see him. Abner Tharn is conceited, opinionated, condescending, and a pain in my arse. And those are his good qualities. All that said, I have the utmost respect for the battle mage. When danger appears, we could do worse than to have Abner on our side. We served together as part of the Five Companions, helping Emperor Aquilarius recover the Amulet of Kings. I have conflicted feelings about those days. We've been exchanging letters recently. I've informed him about Nathalar and the Dragon Guard. His letter indicated a threat to Southern elsewhere, but that was the extent of his revelations. I suppose he wants to tell us in person. Prudent, if frustrating. After all, one should never commit certain details to paper. Paces, he grumbles. He refuses to speak except in riddles, and he's only gotten worse since Tharn's letter arrived and my own mood soured. We both know something terrible gathers strength in the wilderness. We just don't know what it is.
The bearded one speaks as though I am not perched within striking distance and can hear every syllable he utters. I might find his hubris amusing in a different light, but the light that remains fades as darkness comes. A riddle to those hindered by limited perspectives. A profound truth to one such as I. Something ancient and powerful assaults my senses, but the path ahead is unclear. I sense a darkness. Perhaps an absence of light. It sets my scales on edge. My feeling is my own. It grew from a tickle behind my broken horn when the fool of a battle mage opened the halls of Colossus. Now it swirls like a black storm around me. Quite unpleasant. Perhaps the new arrivals can shed clarity on what is to come.
A portal? Here? See what you can make of it.
Tarn, how do you stand it? My head pounds like an orc drum.
You get used to it. And that was your best one yet.
Abner Tharn. You arrogant, vexatious son of a bleary-eyed...
Save your posturing, Sai. I missed you too, but we have a bigger problem to deal with. I see that my instructions were followed to the letter. The champion of Aquina, Sai Sahan, and the dragon Nathalar together in the same place, and I have brought Chimera. We have much to discuss. It concerns Calgrontide. Calgrontide absorbed a good deal of the Core's power before we stopped him. I hoped he was lost in the void after we dislodged him, but like us, he made his way back to Tamriel. I've been hunting for him ever since. Not just that. I pieced together his ultimate plan. Calgrontid boasted he would become the equal of Akatosh, and your dealings with Ladvolon and the cult of the New Moon suggest they were preparing for an ascension. Isn't it obvious? Calgrontid plans to become a god. There's an island off the coast, Dragonhold. In the Kunzari legends, it was the dragon's seat of power. I can't open a portal to it, I can't even scry it. It's protected by potent magic. You faced the cult of the New Moon? The cultists revere Calgrontid. They must have a method for getting to and from the island. I assume their base at the New Moon Fortress holds the answers we seek.
Strange green stone. Does that sound like what you're looking for, Thorn?
Indeed. Since I read about it in your reports, I've wanted to examine it. Chimera, can you...
No more portals, Tarn. Not right now. I have duties other than conveying you around, you know.
Oh, very well. Sai, let's talk. We'll meet our friend at the fortress.
Don't you know that interruptions at nap time cause mange of the fur? You mean other than the cultists that were trying their damnedest to disembowel us? Wait a moment. You're going back there. What in the Two Moons could possibly warrant a return visit to that awful place? Huh. Now that you mention it, I did hear a few of those nutters mentioning sending the green stone to an island, and they were certainly sacrificing something on that altar in the amphitheater. I am not a mage. I wouldn't know a portal from a hole in the ground, but that's where they were gathering the green, Aeon stone, I think they called it. If they have a way to move the stone, it must be in the amphitheater. That's where I would look. May the moons protect you on your mission. If you need a helping claw, come find me. After my nap. I heard Aelia say something about meeting with the Queen of Enequina, which I take to be some sort of euphemism. As for the captain, he went to collect his special order, a case of plum brandy, the good stuff. Already storing it away, I'd wager.
Another ship went down. Got too close to that island off the southern coast.
What am I going to tell my uncle? His moon sugar, his guard, even my cat.
Take a breath, Aishka, before you faint. What
What do you mean he's gone to Kenari? I can hardly believe it. Zaji, prince of the vagabonds, taking down a
Was
dragon.
Gennady who took him, I would be relieved.
This is bad. Very bad.
Rest, old man. Don't pretend otherwise.
If you insist.
I expected the New Moon cultists to... disperse after the death of Latvulan. I suppose Kalgrantid has other ideas. We need to determine how the cultists reached the Dragon's protected island. And according to Tharn, the cult operates both here and on the island. They must have a way to get from here to there. The stockpile of Aeon Stone and this amphitheater are as good a place to start our search as any. That entrance has most likely been sealed in response to what you and she accomplished here. A structure as ancient as this must have other entrances, though. Let's find one and make our way to the amphitheater. Tharn will be fine. He just needs to catch his breath. Which means I get a few blissful moments without listening to his scathing observations. Now let's move quickly. Kalgrantid must be dealt with before he can complete his ascension. The fortress is built atop the cliffside, and the river runs along its base. There must be another way into the fortress along the river. I can feel it in my beard. We need to find another way in. Let's follow the river. Across here, I have a feeling.
We shall show them the new moon's strength soon enough.
This looks promising.
You found a way inside. And without my help. Good.
Back on your feet, old man? Let me know if you need a litter.
A jest. I find it hard to tell through all that facial hair. Now focus. We'll need your fighting skills inside.
Thorn's stamina isn't as robust as...
You never cease to surprise me, Si.
What now, old man?
In the past, I considered you nothing more than Varen's muscle, but here you are, leading a new generation of Dragon Guard.
Your point, Thorn?
Just contemplating how some people adapt to change.
Some seek change, others have it forced upon them.
Wisdom from an empty well here in the belly of our enemy. Let's stick to the matter at hand, shall we?
Stay quiet. Stay quiet.
Through the portal, fleas. There is work to do on my
Calgronti,
island.
here. We must find him. Calgronti!
You shall be the first to behold the rise of the Dark Aeon.
The portal just closed. Thorn, can you open it?
Perhaps, but not by myself. Champion, let's talk. I know Sai was hoping for a confrontation, but I doubt we could have survived an encounter with Calgrontiid. He looked even more powerful than when we saw him at Jode's core. Now, about that portal. This array of stones forms the portal's focal point. That's Aeon Stone, mined from sites throughout southern elsewhere. I did a little research after receiving Sai's report. We need to energize the stones to activate the portal to Dragonhold. Aeon Stone has no intrinsic power. It amplifies whatever energy it absorbs. That's the key to activating the portal. If you step close to the stones, I'll siphon a bit of your vitality into them. That should provide power enough to open the portal. As I said, I did some research. Approach each Aeon Stone and I'll siphon a little of your vitality into them. That should provide the energy I need to activate the portal to Dragonhold. You think so? My knowledge is infinitesimal and it irks me. The stone exists only in southern elsewhere. It absorbs and amplifies energy using a process I can utilize but don't fully understand. The cultists certainly accumulated a lot of it, though. You take great pleasure in forcing me to admit to gaps in my knowledge, don't you? Point taken. Calgrontiid absorbed a significant amount of energy from Jode's core. With all the stone he had the cultists send to the island, I assume its unique properties factor into his plans in some fashion. Good. The Aeon Stones hum with energy. That should allow me to open the portal to Dragonhold. This is harder than I thought. It's open. Our way to the island. Sai, go. Prepare the Dragon Guard.
Go? You can barely stand, old man.
Don't argue with me. Calgrontiid's plan's near completion, and it will take all of us to stop him. Go!
Damn you, Tharn. I'll leave, but you better not die before I return.
I remember when spells such as this took barely any effort. While Sai rallies the Dragon Guard, our job will be to reach the island and find a way to lower its defenses. Then we can take on Calgrontiid with our full contingent. We're going to the ancient seat of Calgrontiid's power to face a dragon that not only possesses the might of Jode's core, but the amplifying abilities of the Aeon Stone. I imagine we'll need to be ready for anything. Your concern is touching, but I'd prefer you save it for someone of lesser stature. Now, as we leap into the maw of near-certain death, we have one advantage. Calgrontiid doesn't consider us a threat. Let's show him the error of his ways. It appears that the portal deposited us inside an ancient structure. I assume we're somewhere beneath the island of Dragonhold. The architecture reminds me of both the halls of Colossus and the barrows of Skyrim. Interesting. That's an approximate translation of the Ta'agra text, from the secret histories of the Moonsingers. Calgrontiid reigned from here before Kunzari imprisoned him in the halls of Colossus. Some sort of powerful magic isolates this island. An Aegis. We need to find the source of the Aegis and destroy it so Nathalar and the Dragon Guard can join us. We'll never stop Calgrontiid without them. Everything I learned about Calgrontiid came from a few oblique references in the Khajiit myths. Let's see if we can find anything to add to our knowledge while we search for a way to dispel the Aegis. An Aegis is a defensive spell. While the magic used in the Matrix surrounding Dragonhold is unknown to me, it bears some resemblance to spells I've cast in the past. I assume the Aeon Stones serve as a key component in the process, whatever it is. That supposition was simply an educated guess. But yes, I believe that by channeling the energy from Jode's core through this strange Aeon Stone, Calgrontiid can achieve an unprecedented level of power. Will that equal godhood? Who can say? I don't like the way this island is shaking. Let's not linger in these caves. It feels like the ceiling might collapse at any moment. Tapestry. Give me a moment to study it. Obviously of Khajiit origin. Obviously of Khajiit origin. Old. Maybe as ancient as these ruins. Perhaps older. I think this depicts one of the forbidden legends. Oh, I can think of any number of reasons for a culture